Hello, my name is Julie and welcome to my channel. And in this video I thought I would show you how to follow a diagram to make like crochet doilies and stuff. So if you had seen my intro video, you may have mentioned that I had spent time in the military, in the Air Force specifically. And in my travels I usually will pick up some crochet books or knitting books in the country that I was in. This particular book here I had picked up while I was in Japan, and it's doilies. Some pretty doilies. But you know, obviously I can't read Japanese, so but I do know how to follow a diagram. So in this video, we are going to follow along. See if I can find it quick. We're going to make, let's see, oh, yep, right, that one right there, that small one. That small doily. So we're going to go get a closer look and make our doily. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, here is our book. We are going to look at some more. We're going to look into making this doily. Show you some other doilies in the book. Okay, now we're going to look at some of our basic stitches. Okay. We see here we have a circle that represents your chain, and in these diagrams if you see a filled circle, that's a slip stitch. If you see X, that in US terms is a single crochet. In this book it says double crochet, that's a UK term. If you see just a T, that's a half double crochet. Here obviously they're using the UK term half treble. Next one you see a T and it has a line through it. That is a double crochet in US terms. Obviously they list the UK term again, the treble. Think of it as the line. That's how many times you yarn over. I think you yarn over to make your double crochet. To make the double crochet, you would at some point would yarn over once to make it. So obviously you do it twice to make a treble crochet. Obviously they use the UK term double treble. 3 lines. That is okay, so this will be a double crochet in US terms. This will be a treble crochet. And this is a double treble crochet in US terms. Some other ones we note. Talk about this cross stitch. And they mentioned double treble, which is a treble crochet. So I guess what you have here, if you have is you do this one first and then chain 2, and then you come back and do your second treble crochet to form your X. This one's to form your bobble, which they say treble, which is done in double crochets. This one, if you know how to make popcorn stitch, that's your popcorn using 5 double crochets. And then you have how to make your peacock, which is where you do probably make 5 chains, close with a slip stitch with the last 3 to make your picot, and then 2 more chains. And this one where you would use a single crochet, chain 3, close with a slip stitch to make the picot, and another single crochet. Here's your shell stitch, which you do 5 double crochets to make the shell stitch. And then they show finally how, and this is a cluster. You see this diagram? It is a cluster using 5 treble crochets. Okay, so that is simply some of the, this is for the most part, especially maybe not more this half, but definitely this half of the diagram, you will see this a lot. Circle is almost always a chain, slip, that's your slip stitch. X's are always a single crochet, with just the T is your half double. T with a line through it is double, 2 lines through it is a treble, and 3 lines is your double treble. Okay, so now let's go on and make our doily. So hopefully you can see this well. Some things to note on this, you see we're going to obviously start, we're making our doily, we're going to start here. So you notice that it's darker in color to begin with. So we have, you see, our first row has X's. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 8 X's in the middle. So this circle here, which I'm going to interpret it as a magic ring. So let us make our first row. So to make this, I'm going to actually use some cotton yarn and a smallish kind of hook. I'm using a nap hook. So we're going to start out with the first round set. I'm going to make a magic ring. And we probably saw I'm trying to think, I'll look again. I think there is a circle, little circle there. That's our chain. So I'm going to chain 1 and put 8 single crochets in this magic ring because it was an X and that represents a single crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. Right, I'm going to pull this shut, form, to close our ring, and now I'm going to slip stitch with our first chain, with our first single crochet. And now we're going to go and look on to what our next row is. Now, we are on row 2. I don't know if you can see, but it is lighter. Our first row was like a dark, so now we're into the lighter section. So we're going to start here, because usually we have our chain. So what we're going to do is chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then the next one you see is a T with a line through it. That is a double crochet. So we have slip stitched. We have slip stitched now into my first stitch. I'm going to chain 6, make a double crochet in the next single crochet, and then I'm going to chain 3 because we have 3 little chains, 3 little circles that represents a chain, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch. And it looks like we are going to repeat that around. So we start beginning here. We are going to chain 6. Okay, move book out of the way. Okay, so we're chaining 6. Two, 3. It's probably the first 3 probably represents our double crochet. And then we're going to chain another 3, which will make our 6. And then in the next single crochet. We are going to do our double crochet because that's what it said in the diagram. Chain 3, double crochet in the next, single crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the next, and I'm going to repeat this around. Okay, I have got my 8 double crochets done and chain 3s, and now we're going to, I don't know if you can see, our last chain 3 we're going to slip stitch because it's a solid dot with the 3rd chain from the beginning of the round. Three, that's that one right there. And I'm going to join up with you. Okay, so let us look at our next round. So now row 3, and they got a 3 here, and it is in the darker color because to kind of keep track of where we're at. This one looks like a slightly trickier round. So here we're going to start out by making, there are 4 little circles here. So that is, we're going to chain 4, and then we're going to do, we got there's a T with 2 lines, so that is a treble crochet. Then we're going to chain, I got 5 circles, so we're going to, oh, is there 5 there? 1, 2, 3, chain 5, and then it looks like you can see we have 2 triple crochet lines, but they're joined like at the top. So that tells me that this is going to be kind of like, we're going to treat it like a cluster. So we're going to do our, start out making our treble crochet here on top of the double, and do another one on top of the other double crochet to do a 2 treble crochet cluster, and then we're going to do another chain of 5 and repeat that. So I'm going to show you how I think this is going to be. Alright, so we're going to start out and chain 4. So I can't keep my book open. So we're going to close the book. Okay. We're going to chain 4. And we're going to do a triple or treble crochet in our next. Okay, so I chain 4. We're going to do a treble crochet on top of our double crochet. And we're going to chain 5. Okay, and I'm gonna go back. I need to look at my chart again because I got. Okay, yes, okay. I just wanted to make sure. We're going to do a 2 triple crochet or treble crochet cluster going back into the stitch we were just in, and the next one. We had chained 5, yarn over twice, pick up stitch, yarn over and draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2 again, leave those two on the stitch, yarn over twice, go over to the next one, yarn over and draw one, yarn over and draw twice, yarn over and draw twice again, over and draw twice again, and finish it off by yarning over and drawing the other twice again. We are going to again chain 5, then we're going to do our 2 triple crochet cluster, yarn over twice, and back in the last stitch we were just in, put our hook, draw up a loop, yarn over and draw through twice, yarn over and draw through twice, leave our last 2 stitches on, yarn over twice, go over to the next one, draw up a loop, yarn over and draw through 2, yarn over and draw through 2, draw for 2, and yarn over and draw through the last 2. Chain 5, right, and then we're going to repeat that again. Do our triple crochet cluster, yarn over twice, pick up, and we're going back into the last double crochet again we were in, yarn over, draw for twice, yarn over and draw through twice, leave the last 2 on, yarn over twice again, go over to the next double crochet, pick up a loop, yarn over and draw through twice, yarn over and draw through twice, do it again, and do the last 2. So hopefully you can see what's going on there. I'll do it one more time. Chain 5, in the same stitch we were just in, we're going to start our triple crochet cluster, but let's put it in the last one we were just in, pull up a loop, yarn over twice, yarn over, pull 2 loops, keep them last 2 loops on, yarn over again twice, go over to the next double crochet, put our hook in, drop a loop, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2 loops, yarn over again, draw through 2 loops, and then yarn over and draw through the last 2. Okay, I am going to repeat that around until I get to the end. Okay, I am about ready to finish my last cluster. I had already started my first half of our 2 treble crochet cluster. The last one is going to have to go back in on top of our chain 4, or I'm sorry, on top of the chain 3 from our previous round. So yarn over twice, go into the top of this chain 3 from the previous round. Then we're going to finish up our cluster. Chain 5, and then we're going to slip stitch right here on top of our first treble crochet. Okay, that finishes up that round. So let's go see what's next on our diagram. Okay. All right, we have just finished this up. We are over here. Or I guess we just finished up the darker round. We're on the lighter round. And this is row 4. So we're starting right here. We're going to start out with a circle with one chain. There's a circle here. So we're going to start a chain. This chain 1. And we're going to see an X here. So we're going to do a single crochet on top of our treble crochet cluster from the last round. And we look at our circles. We are going to do 1. So that's all. These are chains. So we're going to do another chain of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, and then there's a 7. It's probably telling you right there that we're doing 7. 7 chains, and then we're going to do a single crochet on top of our our cluster of 2 treble crochets. Again, we're going to chain 7 and do a single crochet on top of our 2 treble clusters. So I'll show you how to do that. So from our next round, we're going to chain 1 and then do a single crochet on top of this cluster. We're going to chain 7 do a single crochet on top of our cluster here. So this was an easy round. Chain 7. And form our single crochet on top of our cluster. So I'm going to repeat that around, and I'll show you what to do in our next row. This is the end of my round, and I'm just going to slip stitch with our single crochet from the beginning. Alright, so I am going to see what I have next. So we are in row 5. No, okay, so we are starting, okay, we are over here. So what we're going to do, okay, I guess we are going to slip stitch into our first chain. Or they had showed a slip stitch to join. They got a slip stitch here with our first chain. And we are going to chain 4. And then in our chain, we're going to do, and each looks like in each chain, or we can do this in our chain space. We'll make it in our chain 7 space. We got to do 1, 2, 5 more. We got we got a T with 2 lines, so that is a treble crochet. So we got chain 4, and we're going to do another 5 treble crochets, and then we're going to chain 5 and do 6 treble crochets in our chain 7 space, and then chain 5, and again we're probably going to repeat that around and do 6 treble crochets in our chain 7 space. So So let us proceed with our row. Now it's going to say when we get to the end, I'll show you, because it looks like they're going to change. They're not going to do a chain 5 at the end. Okay, so we're going to start out chain 4 and do 5 treble crochets in our beginning, chain 7 space, and then we're going to chain 5 and then do 6 treble crochets in our chain 7 space. Okay, so I think they want us to slip stitch, but we saw the dot, that was a slip stitch, so we're going to slip stitch into our chain 7 space, chain 4, and that's going to represent a treble crochet, and we're going to do 5 more treble crochets into our chain 6 space. So that's 1, or chain 7 space. 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's only, and that represents 6. And so that's our treble and our chain 4, which is our first treble, represents, then 5. Okay, so we're going to chain, now we're going to chain 5, because we saw 5 circles. And then in our next chain 7 space, we are going to do 6 treble crochets. And we got our 6th one here. Now we're going to chain 5. And 6 treble crochets into our chain 7 space. So I'm going to repeat this around. Okay, I mentioned 6. We're doing 6 treble crochets. I'm going to repeat this around, and I will show you what to do on the end, because we have to go back. We're going to go around, and when I do the six treble crochets, I'm going to show you how they finished it up, because they didn't do a chain 5. Okay, I'm at the end of a round. I just finished up our last 6 treble crochets, but I am not going to finish up with a chain 5. So if we go back to our book here, our diagram, right here is the end of our row. We are going to end with, they got 2 circles, so that's a chain 2, and we're going to do a double crochet to finish up this round. So we're going a chain 2 and we're going to do a double crochet on top of this chain they got on top of the chain 4. And there we are. Oh man, really? Split on me. Oh, I got used to doing trebles. We only need to do a double. Now, I am running out of yellow yarn, so I'm going to switch out. Thought I had enough yellow, but I don't. I'll switch colors on you. Switch out to white. So I'm running out of my yellow. Right. Okay, so I'm switching to white because I ran out of yellow. Let us look at our next round. So we are here. What we're going to do now, because now it went lighter, we are here. We're going to do a chain 1 and do a single crochet because it's an X into our top of our double crochet we just made. Okay, I have a 7 here, so I have a feeling we're going to chain 7. 5, 6, yes, we have 7 little circles, so we're going to chain 7. And now we see we have 1, 2, 3, well, probably 6 because we just did 6 trebles in our previous row. We are going to do a cluster because you see all are joined at the spot. So this is a cluster. So we're going to do a 6 treble crochet cluster because we have 2 lines, that's a treble. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 in a cluster and it's all joined on top. So that is going to be a cluster. All right, so now I will show you what we're going to do. So the beginning had a chain 1. We're going to chain and do a single crochet, chain 7, and make our 6 treble crochet cluster. And then we're going to chain 7. And then we're going to chain 7 and do a single crochet because there's an X in our chain 5 space from the previous round. We're going to do another 7 chain 7, and then do our 6 treble crochet cluster. All right, so I'm going to show you what we're going to do then. So here's our new round. We're chaining 1, and those my tails out of the way. I'm going to do a single because this is actually we're going to do a single crochet in our chain 2 double crochet space. And so I did a single crochet in our chain 2 on our DC ending space. We're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 7. Now we're going to start our cluster. We're going to yarn over twice and put our hook in top of our chain 4 space from our because that represented a triple crochet from our previous round. And over and draw through 2 loops. And over and draw through 2 loops and leave 2 on the hook. Yarn over twice, go into the next treble crochet, yarn over or drop a loop, yarn over and draw through 2, yarn over and draw through another 2, leave 3 on the hook, yarn over twice, go into our next treble crochet, drop a loop, yarn over and go through 2 loops. Oops. Oh, try again. Twice. Next stitch, pick up a loop, yarn over and go, yarn and bring over 2 loops, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, and then we're going to leave 4 on our stitch. Yarn over twice, go into the next one, drop a loop, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over and draw through 2, and leave the remaining 5 on the hook, yarn over twice, drop loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, yarn over and draw through 2 loops again, leave the remaining hooks on the thing, on that hook. Oh, last one, I know. Yarn over twice, drop a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, and then we're just going to keep yarning over, draw through 2 loops, yarn over and draw through, okay, and yarn over and draw through the remaining 7 loops, and then we're going to chain, usually we chain 1 to close it. I usually do a chain 1 to finish off our cluster. All right, there is our chain 6 cluster. Okay, chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So now we had our chain 5 space. We're just going to do a single crochet into that chain 5 space. We're going to do another chain 7. Now we're back to our group of 6 treble crochets, so we're going to make a cluster on top of that one. We yarn over twice, go into our first treble crochet from the previous round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that one's 6. Yarn over and draw a loop. Yarn over and draw through 2 loops, and yarn over again and draw through 2 loops. Leave 2 on the hook, yarn over twice, next one. Drop a loop, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2, leave the remaining hooks on stitch, leave the remaining loops on the hook, yarn over twice, next treble crochet, drop a loop, yarn over, and we're going to do that twice, yarn over, draw through 2, leave the remaining hooks on, yarn over twice, pick up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 loops, yarn over, draw through 2 loops, leave the remaining stitches on, yarn over twice, go into the next one, pick up a loop, twice, yarn over, go over twice, leave the remaining, and last time, yarn over twice, put the hook into our treble crochet, yarn over, go twice, yarn over and do it 2 more times, and now we have 7 hooks on, yarn over and draw through all 7 of them loops, and then chain 1 just to close up the cluster. Get our chain 1 locks in that cluster. Right. Again, we're going to chain 7. And then our chain 5 space, we're going to do a single crochet. Okay, so I'm going to repeat all that around, and I'll show you what to do when we get to the end of our row. Okay, we are at the end of our round. Now I'm going to slip stitch. I just chained 7, and I'm going to slip stitch with the single crochet from the beginning of round. All right, I believe we are on our final row, so let us see what we got next. Okay, we are on our final row. Our final row is going to be single crochets and picot. So let's see what we got here. We're going to do a chain, and then we're going to chain 1. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do 5 single crochets. We're going to make a picot, which is 3 chains, and we're going to slip stitch, we're going to slip stitch with the single crochet we just made, and then should be another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, in our next chain 7 space, we're going to chain 5, or we're not going to chain 5, we're going to do 5 single crochets, chain 3 to make our picot, and another 5 single crochets. So again, we're going to come up, probably going to slip stitch into our first chain. We're going to probably chain 1 and do 5 single crochets, make a picot, and do another 5 single crochets into our chain 7 spaces. So from there, I think we're going to do a chain 1, and into our chain 7 space, we're going to do 5 single crochets, three, 4, 5, chain 3 to make our picot, and then we're going to slip stitch back into our single crochet. I just seen recently in another video, probably a Bag O' Day video, the picot, she slip stitches into this front loop and this other, I guess, loop into our single crochet to make our picot. Okay, we do another 5 single crochets. Then we go over to our next chain 7 space, make 5 single crochets, chain 3, slip stitch with our first slip stitch back into our single crochet to form the picot, and do another 5 single crochets. I'm going to repeat this around, and I will join up with you when I'm finished this final round. Okay. All right, that's it. We're at the end. I just finished the last 5 single crochets, and I'm going to slip stitch with our beginning single crochet. We have finished up our doily. Obviously, if I was using thread like I was supposed to, it would be the size of a coaster. But hey, it turned out to be a very nice yarn doily. I hope this tutorial will get you as an introduction into how to read a diagram, and hopefully now you will dive into reading diagrams. It might not have been obvious where to start if you're very new to crochet. This might be hard to tell, other than you would sometimes they should say have something that indicate where to start. And it might not have been that obvious that this circle is a magic ring. But you would just sometimes would have to know, it's like, oh yeah, we usually start, if we start with the row of chains, you know that this was the beginning of a row. And here we saw a chain here. We know that was the beginning of a row. We had a chain here, so we knew that was the beginning of a row. Then we had chains here. This was the beginning of the row. And then over here was our chain. That was the beginning of a row. There's our little chain, and that was the beginning of that row. Like I said, I don't read Japanese. I don't know what that says. And obviously in this particular book, they alternated darker and lighter print to know which row you were on. So, like, again, I hope this helps you understand the world of diagrams. And if you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to do this again and do another doily, please let me know in the comments. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. And again, I want to thank you for watching. And I will see you in my next video. Bye now.